Chigozie. I want you all to pay attention to this. So I'll be talking on ZK TimeNet 3.0. So the reason why I chose this is because we have people like with low end, people that purchase our low end products. Probably you want to purchase a product for, let's say, employees of, let's say, 10, 7 employees, and you need our low end products, and you also need a software to manage those products. So that's why I'll be taking you this ZK TimeNet 3.0. So one useful thing about ZK TimeNet is that it is an application-based software, so it is not a web based. So it is also one of its limitations. So that's why it is a low end software specifically designed to be managed by small enterprise. So let's say, so you don't need to say you want to purchase a product and now say you want to use about time or something. So you can make use of ZKTine because it is low end. So although it can accommodate a large number of users, but we don't. I won't advise you to go ahead and use ZKTimeNet for something like that. So you would because you want something more robust. So that's why I would always advise people to go for to go for uh, ZK TimeNet. So if you have a limited number of employees. So before getting started, I want feedback from you. So from you all. So I'm open to questions now. So if you have any questions on any of our attendance solutions, let's say uh, Time Cloud, or any of our attendance solutions. So kindly drop the question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. So if you have any questions, because I want this section to be much more interactive. So if you have any questions, you just raise your hands. So concerning any of our attendance solutions, so we can quickly talk about that. So, but today I'll just want to be briefing you on ZK Time Net 3.0. So also subsequently in the coming weeks, so we are going to be going deep into all these solutions. Also, we are going to be talking about hotel solutions in the coming week. We'll be talking about our hotel solutions. I know I haven't really touched our hotel solutions. So in the coming weeks, I'll be talking about our hotel solutions. So if you have any questions on attendance, any of our attendance solutions, I would really appreciate if you can raise your hands and ask the question, or you can just send a message to the chat box if you don't want to raise your hands but hands up. So so ZK TimeNet is designed to support devices that are just pull devices. So in my past training, I explained pull devices and push devices, but I think I'm going to break it down here so you can just have a I won't give it a long definition like I normally do, so you can have an understanding of that. So pull devices are our devices that comes without cloud server settings. So just put it away. They are our devices that don't come with cloud server settings. So they are devices in which when you check the data sheet, you won't see anything like cloud server settings. You won't see it can support about time 8 or anything. So those are pull devices. So example of our pull devices are your K40, LX70, tabletop devices like D2S. So those are pull devices. Our InBio 460, InBio series, they are pull devices. So our push devices are InBio Pro. You talk about iClock 880, you talk about MB460. Those are pull communication devices. So that's just basically the difference. So the reason why there's this segmentation is because because of the of innovation around application development, right? So when people come with a solution, they say they need solutions that they need the existing solutions that can support, they can do remote management, right? They want to manage their applications and their softwares remotely. So we call those application web-based software. So those are about time cloud. So these are web-based software. About security, they are all web-based software. But ZKTimeNet in this case is an application-based software. So application-based in the sense that you have to, after installing on your PC, so all the dependencies and everything are being run on the PC. So it is not you are not sending any requests through HTTP or HTTPS. So you are basically running the application on your PC. So it's just like a container. So on your PC that you just you access. So that's what ZK Timenet is. So I'm taking you through content. So why use ZK TimeNet? So what's ZK TimeNet? The new features of ZK TimeNet. I'll also be showing you the I'll be showing you the ZK TimeNet interface. I'll be showing you how it looks like. I know some of us are familiar with ZK TimeNet, but I'll be showing you what it looks like and how easy you can implement the ZK TimeNet. So why ZK TimeNet? So why is ZKTimeNet? So the reason why I advise people to use ZKTimeNet is because there are some cases whereby you purchase a device like our low-end devices, probably because one thing about ZKteco is we are trying to be accommodating to everyone, so you can get the best experience irrespective of the cost and everything. So cost-wise, ZK TimeNet is good. So if you have employees that are, if you have an organization of let's say 10 to 7 employees, like all these little stores and all that, and they want an attendance-based system. So and you just want something that can suffice for that, for that little organization. So you can just make use of the ZK TimeNet as your solution. You can prescribe, you can make ZK TimeNet your solution. So because when you are purchasing the license, the cost is very effective. So I won't be talking about anything financial here. So if you have any sales related questions, I won't be really talking to it. So but you can put your questions in the chat box. So we'll have our salespeople which communicate with you uh, through the chat box. So ZK TimeNet is very effective when you have devices that are low end, with some of our legacy devices that are low end. So, and you know, Bow Time and Bow Time Cloud, they are structured in such a way that uh, they can accommodate so many employees, so many devices, and you can do some kind of remote management due to the HTTPS responses, that because it is a web-based, those are web-based applications and web-based software. So remote, you can do remote management using those but in this case, why why would you use ZK TimeNet? You use ZK TimeNet because when you might find yourself in a situation whereby you are deploying for a small organization. So let's say you don't you want this in someone reached out to you and say, I want a solution. I have just 7 employees. I have just 10 employees, and I just want something that will just be on my receptionist desk, and she can just when my staffs, when they come in, they clock in, and I just want to be able to generate reports for them at the end of the month. So you can prefer this ZK Timeline solution. You don't need to go as far as saying use bow time, because bow time is quite expensive, right? So, but when you, it's not as expensive, but it is when compared with ZKTimeNet, we can say bow time is expensive. So that's why we recommend people to use ZKTimeNet. So that's like the difference. So ZKTimeNet is an application-based software. Also, although organizations like large organizations, they make use of ZKTimeNet. Why? Because ZKTimeNet has been in existence for so long. So it has been in existence even before Bowtime 8 or Bowtime Cloud. ZKTimeNet has been in existence. So organizations would some organizations would like stick to that, to their existing systems, due to the database changes, because ZKTimeNet comes with a default database of SQLite. So why Bowtime and all that, they support Postgre and Oracle SQL database, but ZKTime comes with a default SQLite database. So some organization would not like to like move to Bowtime 8 or Bowtime Cloud. So that's why we get some organizations still stick with ZKTimeNet. But the limitation of ZKTimeNet is that you can't do remote management with ZKTimeNet. You can't really achieve remote management with ZKTimeNet unless you link it with there's this solution WDMS. So unless you link it with WDMS, which is not really as robust. Why do all those configurations and everything when you can just move your employees to Bowtime Cloud? So that's why I advise people. So everything is all about providing the best solution, the most cost-effective solution, right? So that won't affect the customer you are deploying for. And so, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, yes, we can.
There's a someone sent a chat here that's no audio, so I was like, I don't want to be speaking to myself. So So when it is about providing solution, right? So when you are providing solution, you have to know that okay, this is the solution that works, this is the solution that don't work. So and whenever I'm taking all these trainings, you see that even I know that the selling point right now is Bowtime Cloud. That's like the selling point right now. But we still have to consider other solutions that we offer that can effectively work for you. So that's why I make sure that I itemize in each of my training. I try to like make sure that I itemize all the solutions that we have. So any solution that you don't see on this training, just assume that probably I haven't touched it yet, or we don't. It is not a solution we offer. So talking about ZK Access 3.5, I know a lot of people use ZK Access 3.5 a lot, and ZK Access 3.5 has been discontinued. I still have people saying no audio. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you
We
loud
can
and
hear
clear.
you very well.
Yeah, I still have people saying. Oh, well, I still have people saying. Okay. So,
Maybe it's their network. They should check their network
oh yeah,
connection.
please, their network. Yeah,
They can log out and log in again, please.
yeah. So that would be perfect. So where was I? Where was I? So we have solutions like in the coming weeks. I'm still going to be talking about the hotel solutions. So, like I said, we have people using ZK Access 3.5, right? We have a lot of people using ZK Access 3.5, and ZK Access 3.5 is not something we offer. It's not something ZKteco. It's not something we support anymore. But we give you that access to manage it if you are good with our softwares. So because it is discontinued, but it has not been removed totally from the web. So it is still out there on the web. And even I even get people will ask me for access 3.5 license, and I'll still give it to them because it is free. It is free to use, but it is not something we support. So it is not something that when you have an issue with it, you now if you try and message us, we won't respond to you on issues on ZK Access 3.5. So that's why I say any solution that we use here, any solution that you are being trained on here is something that we support. So, and the reason why I'm choosing this ZK TimeNet is because you can have sometimes I have so many I have people that will message me that, oh, I have this customer has like the 15 employees and they just want something small. You can't say you want to get MB460. You can't say you want to get iClock 880. So some customers will say, we just want they just want something small. So if I'm proposing devices like MV460, iClock for just a customer that has 15 staffs or 7 staffs, so you can see that they consider the cost. So, and we as ZKteco, we try to make sure that our products, every product we have, every product we have, every product that are produced can be used, are cost effective. Number one, they are graded. So, and it is not like one product won't work efficiently than the other. No, it is just that the configurations of the upgraded ones are different from the ones that we have, that are different from the ones that are existing. So ZK TimeNet was the talking point about 5, 6, 7 years ago, because the devices that we have then, the applications we have then was not web based. It was application based, not web based. So ZK TimeNet was the talking point, and the devices we had then does not have cloud server setting. So you can only connect your device using the device IP. So you don't have to say you want to uh, include IP in the server port or put server address, set server address, and all those things. So you just make this normal TCP IP connection and you are good to go. So, and ZK TimeNet was the talking point then, and it's still up there, like it's still there, because in terms of effectiveness, ZK TimeNet is still effective. So that's why ZK TimeNet is better. So if you are providing solution for small enterprise and they want something low grade, so you can just prefer D1 D2s K40 and you use them with ZK TimeNet. That's fine. So there was an so not to get so people won't get confused. So we have ZK TimeNet 3.0, we have ZK TimeNet 5.0. So some people used to say ZK Time 5.0 is an upgraded version of ZK 3.0, which is very wrong. So I still have people who download ZK Time 5.0 because everything is out there. Everything is out there. People can stumble upon solutions and they just download, and they later they have issues with it, or they realize that, oh, this software that they install is not compatible with what they want to is not compatible with what they are trying to the solution they are trying to achieve. So ZK Time 5.0 is like a downgraded version of ZK TimeNet 3.0. So ZK Time 5.0 I think it was developed around 2001, 2002 or so. It has been very long. So, but ZK Time 3.0 is an upgraded version. So the issues then with ZK Time 5.0 is like it is too complicated. Everybody can use. It doesn't have access. Reports are not enough. So those are the issues with ZK Time 5.0. So don't make the mistake of saying, okay, probably you are trying to download ZK TimeNet. You now see ZK Time 5.0. So you now feel that, oh, this is an upgraded version of ZK. No, it is just like we have Baotime 8.0.4, Baotime 8.0.5, Baotime 8.0.7. So you don't go and say, if you are looking for a new upgraded Baotime, you can't say you want to download 8.0.2 when you say 8.0.2 out there. So also then there was this other version, which is ZK TimeNet 2.0. So 2.0 is also a version that was, as application develop, as years goes by, there's always an upgrade. So these are the limitations of the older versions of ZK TimeNet. That's old-fashioned UI, access not available, the functions are not enough. So what is ZKTimeNet? I think I've explained that. So let me show you, let me just take you through ZKTimeNet. Let me take you through the interface so you can see how it looks like. I know some of us are familiar with ZK. Some of us are familiar with it, but some of us are not. So this is, so can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
No.
Yes, you can see it. You can see your screen.
I see the ZKTimeNet.
Yeah, very well.
If you have any questions, let's talk. Let us. So one thing I think I'll be trying to implement now is that for those that are always attending this training, so there's going to be a brief, probably sometimes I'm going to schedule an online certification exam. So you just take the exam, and if you pass, you become one of our certified installers, so that we can reach out to you and we work with you. So you cannot see the ZKTimeNet. So this is ZKTimeNet. So this is ZKTimeNet. So ZKTimeNet is an application-based software. So let me minimize this. So you can see that unlike, this is ZKTimeNet. So you can see that unlike bow time and all that, you know, when you, how many of us are familiar with bow time? How many of us are familiar with bow time? Please, if you are familiar with bow time, can you just say I? Yeah, Mr. Paul. Okay, Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, Mr. Paul. I can see your hands up. So if you are familiar about it, so Mr. Paul.
Okay, it's actually Miss.
Oh, Miss Victoria. Oh, sorry, I saying Victor. So how familiar with you with bow time and bow time cloud? How familiar are you with bow time and bow time cloud?
Okay, I use it for the attendance mostly. So I use it to check attendance reports, how the employees check in and check out. That's what I use it to do most of the time.
So when you launch, just like when you're about to launch bow time, where does it take you to? On your desktop, when you launch bow time, where does it take you to?
Login page where I have to put in.
So it takes you to the login page, like
Yes.
through your Mozilla Firefox or Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using, right?
Yes.
So you can see that that is an example of a web-based application.
Okay.
So that's why it is different from ZKTimeNet. So it is more robust than ZKTimeNet. So you see, for ZKTimeNet, I can, once I launch this, it is not taking me to anywhere. So it is going to open because it is like a container on my desktop. So it is not routing to anywhere. There's no HTTP request or anything. So that is where the limitation of ZKTimeNet is. So with ZKTimeNet, you can't do remote management. That's the limitation. But it is just for, say you have a small enterprise, they just want to generate their reports. The HR is going nowhere. The HR of a small store, she's going nowhere. She's not going out. It is always on her system. Then she wants to. There's a fixed desktop in the supermarket. Then she wants to generate reports. So without going anywhere, she has to be in the office before generating that report. So that's the limitations ZKTimeNet has. But it's still like quite the same. It is an attendance software, so you can use it for SMEs. So when you are
profile solution, you don't need to now give someone with 7 employees or 10 employees Biotyme Cloud or Biotyme 8. No, you don't need to do that. Or unless you have a case where, because Biotyme license is quite expensive, so compared to ZKTimeNet. So unless you now have the owner of the store or the owner of the supermarket says, oh, I want to do this, so I want to be in abroad and be generating the report of my employees. Yes, that is when you can now say, okay, you can now use Biotyme Cloud. You can now say, okay, I'll give you Biotyme Cloud. So that when you give out when our salespeople, when they communicate the license price to you, you can now know that, yes, that even the person that needs the solution will know that, okay, this solution I'm trying to achieve must be quite, it is worth it, right? So, but if you have a superstore, if you have a store that the owner is always there, the owner is going nowhere, then 5 to 6 employees, and they want something. So you can't say you want to give them something as exorbitant as Biotyme 8. So that's where we talk about ZKTimeNet. So this is ZKTimeNet interface. So you can add devices, you can purchase our devices, and the adding devices to ZKTimeNet is not really a big thing compared to adding devices with Biotyme 8 and Biotyme Cloud. So this is the system module of ZKTimeNet. So for those that want to do like little access control and all that, you can also enable access module for ZKTimeNet. You can do that too. So you can see this is personnel attendance device payroll report. So there's no access, right? So you can decide to say, oh, you want to enable the access module. So when I save, you see the access module pop up. So this is the access module. So before I continue, I want to ask, on our Biotyme Cloud, our Biotyme 8, has anyone been able to implement both attendance and access control? I need a feedback from someone. If you've done that before, can you raise your hands up? Can you raise your hand up? So if you've done that before, can you raise your hand up? Hello, can anyone hear me?
No, please.
Please,
Yes, sir, I can't hear you, please.
can you hear me?
Not really.
I think that must be with your network. So that might be your network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, but I can hear you clearly. So, all right. So most times I get people say people tell me they want to do attendance and access control with uh, with um, our software, our solutions. I'll use this medium to get it straight that we have attendance-based software. We have hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So has anyone been able to implement access control and attendance with our solution? I need feedback. I need your experiences on that. So if you've experienced that before, you can raise your hands up. So then people tell me they want. So let me just get this straight, because for people that
wants to provide solution to their clients. So you can have your clients can say, oh yes, I want a solution whereby I want something of access control that when they punch, it will open the door. And at the same time, we want to generate attendance, right? So people will go as far as making solutions like providing like a software is set for a particular purpose, but it has optional features of some things. So when someone says, okay, let's say I'm a client and I'm telling you that I want to I want a solution whereby I want to be seeing the access reports of my employees, their entry and their exit. I don't really care about their attendance. I just want their access reports. Anybody that enters the office, I want to see the reports at the end of the day. So if you go ahead and profile solutions like Bowtime Cloud, or ZKTimeNet for a client like that, we know that ZKTimeNet, Bowtime Cloud, Bowtime Hits, they are all attendance-based softwares. We know that they are all attendance-based softwares, but they can do some access, they have some access control, some little access control functionalities. But it doesn't mean the access control functionalities are as robust as the access control softwares that we have. So when you are making solutions and you want the clients and you have a client that wants that wants to achieve those two specific features, access and attendance, then you can now tell the client that what exactly do you want to, what reports do you want to generate? What exactly do you want? I get that you want access and attendance, but what exactly do you want? To what kind of report would you like to be generating? So if she says, oh yes, I want to be seeing their check-in. I don't want them to be coming late to work. So I want to be seeing the report of to be sure that they are not coming late to work. Then you would know, you as a solution provider, you would know that yes, this person wants an attendance-based solution with a little access control features, functionalities, because she said she wants to be able to open the door and she wants our employees to be clocking in and clocking out. But she wants our employee to also punch on that same device and the door should open. But at the end of the month, she wants a report that would give her a detailed description of uh, her employee check-in, clock in, and clock out. So that's when you can now say, okay, let me now provide an attendance-based solution. Then I can now use the access module of that attendance-based solution. So I hope you can now hear me. If you have a questions, you can ask now. If you have a questions, just raise your hand. You can ask. This section is meant to be interactive, but a lot of people are not really talking. Everyone is muted. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand, or you can just ask in the chat box. So so we have so let's now say the client now wants to make the client now wants this solution. Now I want my employees to be able to gain access into the room, number one. Then I want them to be able to do the attendance normal. But at the end of the month, I want to see the report of everyone that opens this particular door. Then you provide the solution, you know that yes, this is a security solution with just some little touch of attendance. So that's why it is very crucial, so that you won't, at the end of the day, you won't have a problem with you won't have a problem that you won't be able to, like, you know, So that's why we tell people that you should always know what your customer wants. You should always ask a detailed question and see what your customer wants. So that's what we tell people. So in this ZK timeline, you can see that we have access, we have attendance. So, and you can see that by default, the access module was not, it is optional. So I can decide to remove it. I can decide to add it back. So you can see that I can decide to, because the software is specifically based for what? For attendance. It is an attendance based software. It is not an access control based software. So deploying a solution, I know that yes, this is an attendance based software. But if the customer now calls me that this is my device, I want it to be opening the door for my client and this thing, you can now know that, oh, we can even make use of the existing software and and put an access module to it, add an access module to it. So also, so this is ZKSignet interface. So we have the configuration where you can do a lot of you can do your configuration. You can enable email alerts. You can enable the USB drive. So you can also enable download attendance photo. So in a case where you want to get the attendance photo of your employees, probably you are using it with a device that uses an infrared based camera. So we also have the role. So in this role, so you can, so now, so let me now take you to where you've installed this software and now you are implementing it, you are using it. And also not to worry on how to install this and how to have this on your system. There's a video for it and the video is on our YouTube channel. So at the end of this section, I'm going to give you the link. So you are going to see the link where you can watch this video and you can practice and use it to provide solution to your clients. So these are the user roles. So you can specify different user roles you want. So let's say you have sales department, because this thing is basically something that would have the repository of that will be keeping your employees details and everything. So you really need to, so if you're having users on this system, you really need to specify what you want those users to access, where you want them to access. So you really need to specify that. So this is where you can do that. So if I create a role name, so role is just what gives segmentation as to what modules you want to access, and in that module, what parts you want them to access. So like in this sales, so I'm going to give sales, and for a salesperson, oh, let me give HR. Let's say for the HR, so I can just limit the HR to those things that are peculiar to HR. So HR doesn't have anything to do with the device. So if I don't check this box, you'd see that when I log in with a user credential that is being assigned the HR role name, this device module won't come up. So, and if I limit the HR thing to some part, like get transaction, set employee, all those things, so it will come up, and with these sub modules, that's what you are only going to be seeing. So that's how you can segment, you can create different roles. You can create HR, you can create for technical, you can create you can create different roles. So you can see for administrator. So the reason why I'm having all these modules is because everything has been checked. Everything has been checked. Everything has been set. So I have access to everything. So I can restrict myself. I can say I don't want this payroll. Then once I log out and log in, this payroll option won't appear. So that's just what this role function is. Then the user, so user is where you now create the user, then add the specified role that you created. So if you are creating a user, it should prompt you for the username password, then you see the role, then you can add. So let's say, no, no. So let me create. So let me do attendance, reports, then save. So if I go to user, I just need to add. So I can just add HR username. So the
Where's this guy?
so I can just have my username to be human resource, my password to be, I can set password, then I can now specify what role. So any role I give this HR, so when this HR logs in, so the HR is only going to be seeing the modules that has been selected by the admin, the modules that are applied to this particular role. So you can see that in this HR role, I only have attendance and I have reports. So when I log in with the HR credentials, this is what these are the modules I'm going to be getting. So that's how it is. So if you have a system right now, you can try that, download ZKTimeNet and try all these features. So also, I know some people will be familiar with all these features because they're also on Bautimate and Bautim Cloud. So I know some of you will be familiar with these features. It is basically like the same thing. So there was a time I was saying you can, once you know any of our particular solution, you can know the others. So this is what it entails. So when you know a solution, you can know the other because they are just like upgrade. The upgrade of ZKTimeNet is bow time. So the downgrade of bow time is ZKTimeNet. So that's just how it is. So also the operation log. So you can see all the, as an administrator, you can see all the operation performed by the admin or by any user, you as an admin. So you can check all the operations performed on the software. So you can see everything. And also for the database. For the database, we have SQLite. We have the ZKTimeNet default database is SQLite. So that's. So we also have the personnel module. So this is the personnel module. So the personnel module is just like, so the reason why I like ZKTimeNet so much is that you can, it gives you this structure, this tree like structure, and I really like it very much. So let's say I want to create, I have a company. Let me name it Abike Stores. So I have a company, I have a store, I name it Abike Store. So if I'm setting department for my company, you'll be seeing this tree like, so just to guide you on just to have like a proper flow. This is your company. In your company, we have so departments, we have sales, so this is under our biggest stores, we have sales. Let me delete this. So under our biggest stores, we have sales. So we can also add that under our biggest stores, we have marketing. So you see that it is like a tree, like to just come like in a tree like form. Like we we have sales, we have marketing, we have technical, we have technical department. So you get all these structure that guides you that okay, here's the flow, here's what to do, here's what not. So also for the employee in the employee module, you can see that it is quite different from Baotime 8, and it is quite straightforward because it is not meant for like large organizations. Also, although large organizations can use it, they can make use of it if they are not going to be doing any remote viewing, or so they can make use of it. So you can see that these are the parameters it is going to ask when you want to create an employee. So you can see that all these are asterisk fields, are important fields that you must fill before you can add any employee. So yeah, and if you are going to be adding fingerprint or password, you just have to get fingerprint readers. We have SLK 201. We have SLK 201. So we have about four different fingerprint types that you can use with this software. So there are fingerprint devices that you can use, and you can also use devices straight on without using without using readers. So fingerprint readers are basically for, let's say you've not gotten the device yet, or you don't want registration to happen on the device. You want it to be solely on the software. So you can get a fingerprint reader. So when you want to register any employee, you just register them from your software. So take for example, I'm going to be going out of I'll be going out of scope here. I'll be going out of scope. So I just want to tell you the usefulness of having a fingerprint reader. Let's say you are doing it because I like solutions. I like solutions. If you have a solution with you, I would really like to adopt it. I used to tell people like, we have these products, we have these softwares. What we want is solutions, right? Solutions around it. How can it be applicable to the Nigerian market, the African market? So now let's see that you are you're hosting an event, right? So and you want you want it to be that. So I'm going out of scope here. So I'm not taking ZKTimeNet because ZKTimeNet is an application based. So we want something that you're hosting an event, then you have multiple locations, and you have all those devices installed in those multiple locations, but you have one registration center, right? So let's say you have about uh, you are going to be transporting about 1,000 people from Lagos to different parts of the country, different parts of the country. So and you can just do the registration there in Lagos. Then you can now get their fingerprint records, get their infos, their username, everything, get their fingerprint records with fingerprint readers. So when you do that, when you get those records, you can now sync it to every device in every location such that when they get to that particular location, they don't need to do they don't need to they won't be needing to register again. They just have to like punch in and they are good to go at any, or you are hosting an event, so you can do that. So you are hosting an event and you want your participants. So you want them to be pre-registered before even coming to the top floor where the event is actually happening. So you can just do the registration right from the ground floor without having the device mounted at the ground floor. So you can have it on the third floor. So that's why you can just make use of fingerprint readers. You make use of them and you are good to go. So if you have devices that uses face, that uses finger vein, so but fingerprint is just like the most important, and card readers. So we have card readers too. So you can do the registration through card, through fingerprint. So you register the employee right from the software. So, and also on the device, you can also do that. You can do the registration. You can do the registration on the device. Yes, absolutely. You are going to get in the recording. So also you can do the registration from the device, register them from the device, then export every transaction to the software. So this is the position area. So where you can create position, so manager. So just like you have departments, so you can also create different position based on the hierarchical structures. So based on the hierarchical level, right? So you can create the position right from HR, admin, and that. So ZKteco gives you this tree like you get a tree that extends. So right from the company to the position, departments, and all that. So you get that. So to make things easy and very efficient for you. So for the attendance module, so the attendance module is quite the same to it's quite similar to bow time. So they all uses the same structure, they uses the same framework. So if you what I'm going to be showing you here, so you can also do that on your bow time. So you can also apply the same thing on your bow time. So you can see we have rule, we have work type, so we have stats. So some modules are here that are not really applicable to the Nigerian market, just like this payroll. So we are still working on payroll. We are making research to see how we can implement a payroll feature, but that will be on Bowtime Cloud. So you notice that on Bowtime Cloud, there is no payroll on Bowtime Cloud. So it is because we are still making research on it. We are making documentation on how the payroll module can be effective in terms of the Nigerian, in terms of in the African market. So that's why you won't see the payroll on Bowtime Cloud. So on ZKTimeNet, you see the payroll because it is an application software, and it is something that you can't really make changes. So on Bowtime Cloud, the changes on our Bowtime Cloud are like if there's as a result of customers' feedback, as a result of the feedback we've gotten from you, from trainings, from SOS, from uh, from social media. These are as a result of feedback. So all those changes can easily be effective on Bowtime Cloud because uh, every changes will always be based on customers' feedback because we are making these products for you. So, but you would see this on ZK Timeline because it's an application-based software, and developing, releasing again is going to really cause a lot of problem. And when there's a changes, those people that have ZK Timeline on their system, it won't affect, it won't be effective. So to them, so but take for example about Time Cloud, you notice that on our sign-in page, you notice that the Baltime Africa logo is there. You notice I know if you've been using Baltime Cloud for a while, Baltime NG for a while now, you notice that there has been some peculiar changes to Baltime NG. So those are the changes I'm talking about. That's as a result of customers' feedback, as a result of your feedbacks. So I'm open to questions. If you want to ask any question, you can please ask your questions. We have a few minutes to round up. So please ask your questions. If you have any questions, please ask question.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good morning.
yeah, good morning.
Okay, just want to confirm. Thank you so much for this lecture. We really appreciate. I'm Mr. Manu Chinedu.
Yes.
I want to confirm a station whereby somebody have this bayonet, this
Yeah.
time. Okay, can a person upgrade to, okay, you've already said that. So what is the difference between the Bio 8.0 and the cloud? That is one.
Yeah.
Two, which license can somebody use? Which application can somebody use to access a situation whereby they want to calculate all the salary for the person in a month via the man hour, leave schedule, and the rest of them without paying license yearly. And the person have up to 150 staff.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, that's a very brilliant question. And I really appreciate the fact that you raised this question. So the first is the difference between Bowtime Cloud and Bowtime 8, right? So Bowtime,
Yes.
so Bowtime 8 is a software. Bowtime 8 comes before Bowtime Cloud. So, and the reason is because uh, the purpose of these softwares, this Bowtime 8 and Bowtime Cloud, is for effective remote management. So, and we realize that a lot of people, a lot of SMEs, they have issues with implementing remote management with Bowtime 8, because you have organizations whereby uh, their technical teams are not as strong when it comes to the deployment of Bowtime 8, because here's how it works. So on Bowtime 8, when you install Bowtime 8 to your PC, so Bowtime 8, because it is a web-based software, right? So Bowtime 8 takes the IP address of your PC, which is a private address. So, and you know, private address are addresses whereby when you are outside of that network, you won't be able to access uh, any information as regards uh, that particular private network. So when you're outside of the network, so people find it difficult, and to make remote management work on Bowtime 8, although when you install Bowtime 8 on your system, you can manage it, you can do the remote management from in-house, like in-house, as long as you're on the private network. So we now have instances whereby we have organizations where they have Bowtime 8, and they have another office in let's say the organization is situated in Ikeja, then they have another office in Ekiti. So now, and they want to manage both locations, and they have a private address, so that is different from the office in the other location. So that's the limitation about timing. So what we prefer to people that are deploying Biotimate is that if you are going to be doing a remote management, you have to make sure that you have a public address. So that is where Biotime Cloud comes in. So Cloud comes default with a public address. So that's why we'll tell you that in the server settings, when you are setting up your server settings, you only put the domain name, because domain name. So when you actually register your domain name on Biotime Cloud, so it also automatically assigns you a public address so that can be accessible from anywhere. So it is that public address. That's why you notice that when you had a device on Biotime Cloud, you see the IP address at 41 dot something. That's a public address. So a public address can be accessed from anywhere. Even if you are in London, you can access Biotime Cloud. So, but for organizations that really find it difficult to set public address, because if you are using Biotime Cloud, it means you are installing the application on your system. Then the application will be converted to a web-based application through the by using the IP address of the server it was installed on. So that's how. So that's the limitation of Biotime 8. So you now have to contact your ISP. Let's say you're an organization using a service provider. Contact your ISP to set a public address for you, and also set a public port on where your application runs on that on that uh, on that platform. So when they do that, so that's when you can now achieve remote management from anywhere using Biotime 8. But with Biotime Cloud, it comes preset. That's number one. So number two is that when we talk of data management, so we have some organizations that are susceptible to attack. So we have small SMEs that are using Biotime 8 that the HR can just be careless, and someone can just have access to all the user records of your organization. So that is where Boutime Cloud comes into place. So Boutime Cloud, your database are hosted by AWS. So Amazon. So Amazon is like the number one cloud hosting service. So you can be assured that yes, your employee records and everything are safe. So those are the two. And for the license part, so for Boutime hits, the license you are not paying yearly. The license for Boutime hits is one off. So Boutime Cloud, you are using it free for 1 year. Then after 1 year, you have a subscription. You have a yearly subscription or monthly subscription according to the agreement with your sales personnel. So that's why on Boutime Cloud, you see that on the subscription model, you see that when you want to subscribe, it will tell you to contact. It will link you to a contact of any of our salesperson on Boutime Cloud. But on Boutime 8, as long as you install the license, as long as you install the Boutime 8, if you need any license or you want any license, our salespeople will sell you the license one off. So that by one off, it means it will be valid for 3, 4, 5 years. So that's that. Mr. Emmanuel.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
My questions are not, you didn't answer the last one.
Yeah, so what's the last one? Sorry.
The last one was, if the person have up to 150 staff and the person want to use, which software do you wish the person use?
So the person the person has 150 staff, right?
Yes.
And so the question you now ask the person is, how many locations? Is it that the 150 staff, is it that they are in one location or they are in different locations?
Okay. They're in one location, although we intend implementing it in 3 locations, but we intend starting with 1 location for now.
Okay, now that you have that in mind, that okay, there's a possibility that you are going to be deploying at other locations. So you can now see that you are not using, you won't be using ZKTimeNet. You'll be using Boutime Cloud. They have 150 staffs. So that will give you an insight that, oh, this organization probably they might not have a strong IT presence, right? So they just want something that will manage those 150 staffs. So you can now deploy, you can now say they can go for Boutime Africa, which is free for 1 year.
Okay.
Yes.
So what
So,
about if they have a strong IT presence? What happens then?
Then you can now go for Boutime hits. So, and you can now tell them to reach out to the ISP. They have a public address. So by public addresses, it means they can manage their organization database even at those other 2 locations. So if they have a public address, so they can now access, it means they can access their server from other locations. So if they have that, you can now use that public address to do remote management with Boutime 8. So you can now purchase Boutime 8 for one off from
Okay. Thank you for the information. Then
Yes.
the last one, which I asked, was then how do we calculate the numbers of man hour the person work? Which software is perfectly and which device is perfect for that job?
Yeah, so that's one thing we are working on. So you notice that on Boutime 8, you can Boutime 8 is designed for how will I put it? So Boutime 8 is designed for the payroll module of Boutime 8 is structured to the Asian market. So that's one thing we are trying to implement on Boutime Cloud. But what I used to tell people is you can check the payroll with the payroll module on Boutime 8, you can achieve that if you have a if you can work around way around the payroll setting, because after installing the software it is you. So because we don't know what the payroll structure of every organization is. So we are just trying to find a unified payroll structure so that we can adopt on Boutime Cloud. So that's why we are still, so on payroll, it's not something I can now say, I can say, yes, I'll give you a full assurance that this is how to go about it, this is how to go about it. But in the coming months, it is something we are going to be implementing. We are doing a research on how the payroll structures can be achieved with the African market. So thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Mr. Benedict. Mr. Benedict. Mr. Benedict, can you unmute your mic and ask your question? We have a few minutes to go. So, Mr. Benedict, so any other person with any question can ask. We have just, this is 12:04, but I'll be extending it to 12:10 because I really want people's input, people's question. If you have any questions as regards attendance. So, Mr. Benedict.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is it,
Hello.
yeah, I can hear
Okay.
you.
Yes. I want to ask. Yeah. I want to ask. Is ZKTimeNet licensed?
Yes, ZKTimeNet is licensed, but you can be assured that the license fee is not as expensive when compared to Baltimate and Baltime Cloud.
Is it a one-off license?
Yes, it is a one of. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Oluwajayi.
Yeah, yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr.
So
Ajayi.
thanks for the information you shared. I really appreciate it,
You're welcome, Mr.
But
Ajayi.
a quick question. I've actually installed about an 8.0
Okay.
for a client for a while now, and one of the
Okay.
things I noticed is that the scheduling, and is a problem in such a way that they're having shift pattern. And let me just quickly give
Okay.
a scenario.
Employee
Somebody,
scheduling is very dynamic,
Mr.
right?
A is working day shift for 2 days, then it goes the third day will be off, then the fourth day will be at night, and probably 2 nights then off. And they might decide to have different scheduling. But the
Yes,
challenge
that's
here now is
okay.
most yes most the administrator in charge of the about 8.0, with the person keep on inserting the the shifts on that user. For instance, for the 2 days the person will be on money, the administrator need to put okay money, then another 2 days again we need to define the schedule night. Is that what the person needs to keep on doing? Or is there a systematic or automatical way that the system will actually set that okay, yes, this person actually wasn't late, is the person is on night shift? I don't know if you're really getting
Okay,
the
so
question I'm
so
trying to
so 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 I get your point. What you're talking about is dynamic shifts, right? So in a case where you have different employees
Yes,
on different levels of shift. So right, you know that. So
yes,
I now want to ask a question. So is it that it changes every week? Does the shift changes every
yes, yes,
probably on Monday the person will come, the
yes,
person will do night on Monday, then the next Monday the person will do morning, then the upper Monday the person will do morning again, or so how is it?
yes. The shift. When the person is on, for example, Monday is doing day, then the
Mm,
next Monday might be doing night.
right.
It
So
might the third Monday it can also be doing night also. It's not as if it's a regular shift.
okay, yes.
The
So
line
that
manager might decide to say,
yeah.
okay, Mr. A, you have to do.
So the thing is, what you have to do is you have to you have to set those shifts. You create those different shifts. So after creating those different shifts, so when you are now
setting that shift to those days. So you're not going to create like, so when you are setting shifts to those days, so what you're not going to do is you're not going to each week we now have different shift configurations. So let's say Monday you put this shift, or you check Monday with this particular shift, you check Tuesday with this particular shift for that week. The following week, you just need to add the following week under. So it will pop up. Then you set this particular shift for Monday again, Tuesday for that following week. Because when you are setting your shift, when you are scheduling your shift, so there's always a time frame. So you want the shift to exist for. So you can do it for up to 1 year. Then after 1 year, you can do that. You can set again after 1 year. So that's like the most effective way for dynamic shifts.
Oh, okay. Because anyway, that was actually what we did, and it's really not too convenient, especially for the HR officer or the administrator, that each um, each week we need to start putting that for the
So that's what I'm
users.
saying. You don't have to
Imagine
do
where
it.
you're having up to 500
I
staff.
understand. That's why you don't have to do it in each week. So you can group your employees. You have 500 employees, right? At least out of the 500, like 200 is going to be on the same shift. So you can segment them. So put all these employees into this particular department and set the shifts for the next 8 weeks. So I think that will be, if you are still having issues on that, you can contact our support team. They will support you on that. Benedicta Olatokumbo. Please, can you ask a question? Someone is raising.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I think it's fine. No.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
hello. Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Anand. Good afternoon.
So much. Sorry, I joined very late. I didn't even follow anything explained. I just came in when Mr. Emmanuel was asking question. But I want to ask you one question, please. For this software, does it can it carry such? Assuming you want to be receiving an attendance list of your staffs online, as in immediate when they just clock in, it will send you a message, or maybe on the app it will show that someone has clocked in. You want to check. Does it do it, or is it the cloud software that does that?
Yeah, so I would advise this can do it also. So you just need to set up email. You need to do your email settings. So, but I would advise you use the cloud-based software, because using your application, so using your application, you can have issues with your um, your own network. So you can have issues with your internal network because your application is basically using your internal network. But for Bowtime Cloud, it is not necessarily using your internal network. So if an employee checks in, you automatically get the feedback email.
Immediately.
Yeah. So, but then you need to to do the configuration, you need to register with an email provider. So you register with, you can use Sending Blue. Sending Blue is they provide they are email providers. They are also SMS providers. So you can use Sending Blue. Sending Blue will give you like free for, I think, up to 8 requests. So you can use sendingblue.com. So you can now link Sending Blue with Bowtime Cloud. So you get your alerts, your email alerts.
Okay, so but that is software on the system. Assuming you have a software that you can load on the phone, if you have a
Yes.
phone app.
Bowtime Cloud, you can load Bowtime Cloud on your. That's why Bowtime Cloud is Bowtime Cloud. You
Okay,
can log into Bowtime Cloud using your phone. You just go to Google Chrome, log into Bowtime Cloud, or you download the app. So with the Bowtime Cloud app, you can just generate. You can even, you as the admin, you'll be seeing your employees
Exactly.
checking. So from the app, you can even pull their reports from the app, from the
Okay.
part-time cloud app. There are videos on that. So on the
Okay.
YouTube, you can also drop your email if you can't find them on YouTube. Drop your email. We'll send you the video. We'll send the videos to your email. But they're on our YouTube channel.
Then my last question is, does BioCloud, which of the devices work with it? I don't know. You may not have the list, but I don't know. Is it?
Yeah. So first, our About-Time Cloud, they work with all our visible light devices, like our Urus, our Speedface, our PFace. Then for our Linux-based devices, we recommend INO 1A. I'm sure you must be familiar with INO 1A, MB460, MB460, INO 1A. So those are the two like major. We have other devices, but those are the two major devices I would recommend. And don't use F18 for About-Time Cloud for now. Don't use F18 because there's
It's not working well with it.
yeah, there's a cloud setting difficulties with F18. So but MB460 and INO1A, I can assure you that you are good to go with that.
I know 1A and MB460.
Yes, or MB460. So those are
Okay. Thank you so much. That's the only question I have for now.
okay.
It's just that I got this invite late and I didn't check on my WhatsApp. I've seen the invite like yesterday. Maybe I would have joined earlier than this.
So you have your email. So you got the
Yes.
invite through newsletter, right?
Through Chinyere.
So
Chinyere
yeah,
forwarded it this
yeah.
morning. And so I just read my WhatsApp and I saw it.
You've registered.
I didn't even register. I just logged on immediately.
Oh, okay.
So where do you want me to drop my email here?
Yeah, so you can drop your email. So in the next, because we'll be having the next training section is going to be on hotel solutions.
Okay.
So it's going to be on hotel solutions. So you get a prompt in 2 weeks. So it will happen in 2 weeks. So you get a prompt on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So also to reach us, let me quickly. So for those of us that don't really know where, so I always advise people that YouTube is like one of the best platform that you can easily get details on our products and solutions, like on our do-it-yourself videos. So on YouTube, so when you go to YouTube, you just have to search for ZKteco West Africa, ZKteco West Africa on YouTube. So when you go to ZKteco West Africa, you see a repository of different videos we have on both About-Time Cloud. Even this section I'm having, you're still going to find it on YouTube. So I used to advise people to make YouTube your friend when you are trying to deploy all these things, and you are good to go. All right, thank you very much. So in 2 weeks we'll meet again. We'll see again on hotel solutions. So you're really going to enjoy it. Thank you very much. Bye for now.